When something sounds too good to be true, it's probably because it is. But I'm the kind of guy who has to be sure. So when I learned that certain companies were selling items and would pay you for leaving a review, I decided to check it out. And now I'm going to tell you all what I learned. So I've seen a number of these ads on Facebook for companies selling knockoff Apple products or weird gadgets, and these companies will supposedly reimburse you after you buy the item and leave a review. So I decided to hit up one of these pages and see how it all worked. And one of these pages said 100% back for your feedback. So I messaged them and I said, how do I get one for free? And they responded a few hours later and they said, hey, welcome my friend. We will provide many products on Amazon, but we just cash back to you by PayPal after our customer leave us a 5-star approved review. And then they said which you like. And they sent me a whole catalog of their items. And I thought, this is the most random assortment of things that I've ever seen. They've got tech accessories like phone cases and chargers, but they've also got blackhead removers, beard kits, bikinis, and vibrators. Decisions. What was I going to pick? And then I saw something that I've always wanted, an LED light strand for my office. He said, okay, please send me a link or a screenshot of your Amazon profile. We need to check your number of reviews, recent reviews, and reviewer ranking in order to complete the whole process smoothly. Thank you. So I sent him a screenshot of my profile, but this is when I got a little nervous because I shop on Amazon all the time, but I've never actually left a review. But they said, okay. And I guess I passed because they went on to say, this is the purchase step of item 1, and please note before you purchase. You can use coupons, we cover tax, make sure seller is correct before placing an order, order the item within 2 hours, leave a text review after receiving it, send us a link or a screenshot when it is live on Amazon. And I was like, okay, can you send me a link? He said, link is not secure, please search. And I was like, why can't he send me a link? Why does he need me to find it? But I eventually find the item and I decide to send him a link. But I actually send him a redirect link that I created at grabify.link so I can snag his IP address and some other information from him if he clicks on it. And lucky for me, he does click on it. And it's showing me that he's in Hong Kong. And I really don't know what his plan is, but I decide that it's worth $30 to get some answers and see how this all works. And the worst case scenario is that I'm stuck with some crappy lights. So I decide to place an order and I say, okay, I have ordered. And he says, send me order screenshot and your PayPal account. So I do. And he says, after you receive the goods, please leave us a 5-star review in about 2 to 4 days. When the review is live, please send the link or screenshot to us in time. It's important to us. After that, we will send rebate, okay? So I waited patiently to see if the thing was actually going to ship. And to my surprise, it did. And a box was delivered by UPS, and there it was. And I happen to have that item with me right here. So we're gonna do a little bit of an unboxing review and see what they've sent me. To choose colors, but I kind of prefer the mobile app because they've got just a lot more selection that you can choose from. You can go from blue to red to green to yellow, and there's also some cool things that you can do with music. So I guess that it's an actual product and it seems to do what it says it will do. When I asked, does it have to be a 5-star review? What if I rate it a 4? And he said, we only need 5 stars. Well, don't we all? But then I thought about it for a minute and I'm like, you know what? It does what it says it was going to do. There's no big reason not to give it a 5-star review. So I began to write my very first Amazon review. The lights are super easy to set up. These lights add a groovy ambience to my home office. I prefer the mobile app to the remote that comes included as it has a lot more options. There are lots of different colors to choose from. The music feature is nice. For the price, it's a lot of fun. And then I hit submit, and Amazon told me it would take a few days before my review was approved. This gave me some time to think. Was I really going to get reimbursed? What's the catch? And then I started to think about the importance of 5-star reviews. Because we live in a world where 80% of shoppers check product reviews before they make a purchase. We value what other people say way more than what companies say. And so sometimes companies will do whatever they've got to do to get those good reviews, whether it's ethical or not. And that's when I stumbled across a website called fakespot.com that is designed to look at a product listing and analyze the reviews. So I copy the link to these lights and I drop it into FakeSpot, and it gives it a C rating and it gives the seller a D rating. How did they get such a bad grade? Well, FakeSpot says their engine has profiled the reviewers' patterns and has determined that there may be deception involved. They determined that review content quality is low. You know, kind of like my crappy review. And it's also noticed that Amazon has altered, modified, or removed up to 23 reviews from the listing. So the company is basically paying a bunch of nobodies, like me, to write reviews on their products in order to boost them to the top of Amazon's search results. And FakeSpot reports that there's been a huge surge in unreliable Amazon reviews in the past 5 years. So this buyer's club isn't the only one doing it. There's dozens, if not hundreds, of these Chinese manufacturers doing what they can to move their products. But somehow, Amazon approved my crappy review, and would you believe it? They refunded me my money. So technically, it's not a scam. But an article by The Hustle reports that under federal law, the practice of exchanging free products or payments for favorable reviews without disclosure, a practice called incentivized reviews, is illegal. So I guess I just broke the law, which caused me to go back and edit my review to say I should also add that I was compensated for this review. So I guess we'll see how long it lasts before Amazon pulls it down. Anyway, what'd you guys think of my lights? So I actually really like the lights, and this even caused me to go and buy another set. And I went and left an honest review for 5 stars to at least give them credit for a good product. Because it is a good set of lights. It's just not a very honest way to market them. But anyway, let me know what you guys think.